What is up, everyone? I am Miss Sophia the Diva, and as promised, I decided to do Power Live tonight. Number one, because I was busy trying to do meal prep and get ready because my life has turned into one big nonstop adventure in my new role. But either way, I am here tonight just to briefly talk about it. There's not a lot to cover. But if this is your first time, for those of you who are watching on my YouTube, please be sure to click that subscribe button, spread the word, check out Miss Sophia the Diva videos. I'm going to start picking this channel back up, but right now I just need to adjust to my schedule. Y'all, I went to bed at 10 and slept through my alarm, woke up at 7 and got to work at like 9:30 because I don't know, in Atlanta, when it rains, folk don't seem to know how to drive. Hey, Helena, how are you? I'm so glad that you are catching me live. I hope we can have a dialogue about it while I'm here, because there's not much to cover. I mean, in all honesty, there's just not. The bottom line is this. So it was seen these last 5 sum total episodes, there's now 3 left. They're just going to play it till the end to let us know who killed Ghost. And let me tell you, in theory, I was thinking that maybe they were just announcing that James was slain simply because he was being protected or whatever. But because of what transpired in this particular episode, I can truly say that unless he pulled a Tupac, James Ghost St. Patrick, may he rest in peace, is what we can truly say at this point, as they have started disbursements of his estate. Now, I don't know. My friend Helena says she is so overpowered. I do not like the ending. I'm not feeling it. This episode, of course, focused on Paz, which we know is Angela's annoying, overprotective sister, overbearing, who thinks she knows everything and knows nothing. She's also very prideful, and we all know that pride comes before the fall. So throughout this episode, we see where she replays and recounts her events in having to deal with James St. Patrick and how much she hates him and deals with him. We saw the scene where he was having the party announcement of him becoming part of Walsh's campaign and how she attempted to kill him then, but did not. This entire episode was focused on her son and her father. The father, who seems to be suffering from, I would assume, Alzheimer's, has no knowledge that Angela is dead until her son slips up and tells him, which pisses me off because I'm like, dude, you supposed to be going back to school. I don't know why you keep telling you had to tell your grandfather, who's already in a delicate state, that his favorite daughter is dead, because it's very apparent that Angela is his favorite, because, I mean, he's all she can. She's really the only one he remembers, because he'll be talking to Paz and calling her Angela, okay? But I really just was not impressed with this episode. It left much to be desired. I've come to the conclusion that Paz is an idiot, blinded by her own self-serving needs and her need for vengeance. Let that be a lesson, because in this episode, she is so hell-bent on getting James convicted prior to him being assassinated that she goes to Warner and begs him to let her be wired up so she can get this confession. Because y'all remember in the episode before the mid-season finale, she was at the club trying to find out who had killed her sister. And James was like, I don't know who killed your sister. And so Warner, who's listening the whole time, is just like, this is some bullshit. We just not going to get anything. Warner also has fallen prey to being an overzealous prosecutor. I thought he had more sense than Sykes and Mott. Helena said, who the hell cares anything about Paz? We haven't cared about her ever an entire episode. Really, Courtney? Because this is interesting. For Its Rocks, I think it was, or someone who did a review last week was like, I never talked to Courtney Kemp, but this week I'm talking to Courtney Kemp. Courtney girl. The fans are truly disturbed by these last episodes. If next episode is what this week's episode was, I think you're going to start to see a drop off in people watching, because honestly, I'm over it. I really am. It's like, What are we doing? What are we here for? So one of the things I did note, it makes me wonder, out of all the players that could have killed Ghost, what if Ramona killed Ghost? And the reason why I wonder that is because there's a setup in the flashback where Ramona runs into Paz in the restroom. And the comment she makes to Paz about James, because, of course, Paz has to, throw dirt on his name every opportunity she gets. Ramona's like, I just want to thank you for your support. I'm sorry about what happened to your sister. My condolences, blah, blah, blah. And then, of course, Paz goes in about how James ain't shit. And so Ramona says some people are just unstoppable. Then on top of that, we see a representative from the Democrat Party tell Warner he needs to stop his investigation. And that because James St. Patrick is the property of the Democratic Party. I said, oh, so that's how that shit go down. Let me go ahead and start running for public office. Let's see. Helena says, Ramona been awfully quiet. I was thinking there is more going on. I mean, I'm starting to think it might be her because she's like, don't nobody want that. She don't want her name attached to a drug dealer. And let's be real. We had no sex scenes with her and James. So James didn't hit her spot and make her go crazy and out her mind. So she's still in her right mind. Although she is curious about the eggplant game, I'm sure. So I wondered about that. With that exchange, if maybe that coupled with the fact that the Democrat Party told Warner in the U.S. Attorney's Office to leave James alone and that investigation is closed as far as they are concerned. But there is a moment when Paz has with her father, he has a moment of clarity, and he basically is telling her that when we named you peace, and therefore we don't want any violence. I said, that's a message from God to you to tell you to not engage in violence. Because the whole time she's trying to figure out how can she kill James St. Patrick? How can she wipe him from the face of the earth? Paz even went so far as to do something I thought was so stupid. She went to Tommy and asked Tommy to kill Ghost. Where they do that at? Despite how Tommy may feel about James and how James may feel about Tommy, they brothers. They ain't on no Cain and Abel type shit, okay? Though they truly are their brother's keeper, okay? He ain't gonna kill Ghost. And Ghost ain't gonna kill him. Although Ghost is dead to the dance floor, but that's neither here nor there. So I thought that was very interesting. She went to Tommy. She gave him a roll of money. I'm like, do you know how much money Tommy already has? He has so much money he can't even wash it cleanly. But I thought that was crazy and stupid all at the same time. Warner once again got in trouble. And dude showed back up again like the Grim Reaper to tell him, because of your own ambition, you just murdered your own career. And so he said, a phone call is going to be coming. Warner's like, what are you talking about? Ain't no phone call going to be coming. And sure enough, there is. Okay. So bye, Warner. You down to the unemployment line now, child. Woo, child, the ghetto. You down there with Sykes. Y'all can get together and have some brown bag lunches of the liquid kind together now. Because both of y'all going to be fucked up and tore up from the floor up. Now, I see that coming. Paz had, Angela's body exhumed during this episode to pull that cell phone, which she claimed she was going to allow her sister's secrets to be buried with her, but she was so desperate, she has the body exhumed and the phone ain't got shit on it that's useful for an investigation. So now she can't get Angela's benefits or anything like that. You fucked yourself. Sykes was instrumental in helping her get her sister's body or remains reburied, thanks to her own stupidity. Then there's a scene in the closing of the episode. We see that she's at an attorney's office. Come to find out that she is a named beneficiary in James St. Patrick's estate. What I was most happy about to see in this particular episode is that from shame to reclaim fame, we see none other than Elvin Thibodeau of the Cosby Show fame. His actual name is Jeffrey Owens. If you don't remember, maybe a year or so ago, Jeffrey Owens was spotted working at Trader Joe's, and somebody thought they would post it to shame him. And I'm like, girl, you must not know. You make good money at Trader Joe's. Hell, if I had the patience and the energy, hell, I would be working at Trader Joe's. Okay, but I just don't have the energy. The place get crazy. I love shopping there, and I get irritated and be damn near want to roll people over out the fresh produce section. Damn near, I'm just saying. But either way, he was there. He was playing an attorney. Yes, girl, Elvin, woo, woo, Mr. Thibodeau himself, Mr. What did he was very like sexist and stuck in the dark ages until Claire Huxtable had to check that ass. But either way, Paz meets with him, and he lets her know that James left something for her in his will. And this is why I said at the beginning of this episode, or at the beginning of this review, I'm a trust officer as far as my career goes. I've been doing it for 10. Well, this will be my 11th official year of actually doing it, but I've been in banking doing something with private wealth management for 12 and a half years now, going into my 13th year. If somebody did, you have to get a certified copy of the death certificate. So I guess they've received that, and now we are dispersing his estate, and he must have had everything renamed in the estate or paid out to his estate some kind of way, because you don't just start dispersing funds just on the strength that somebody got shot. That's all I'm saying. Paz is named in there. Instead of Angela being a beneficiary, he made Paz the beneficiary because he knew that Paz needed her sister's support, and therefore he was going to try to make things right. She doesn't want the money. Tasha shows up. She tells her, take the money, Paz. You need to take the money, girl. I know you need it, because she had gone to Tasha and was like, you should kill him, and she was like, no matter what happens, he always wins. I have nothing left. If you kill him, then I have even less left. So Paz is stuck between a rock and a hard place. But then I think when she sees her son, he asked, do I get to go back to school? Because this is the whole time her son just kept asking, do I get to go back to school? Well, do I get to go back to school? I was like, please send this child back to school. At least he want to be educated, okay? I guess she's going to take the funds, but she does have a right to claim. Plus, that becomes a taxable distribution on the part of the beneficiary 9 times out of 10, depending on the size of it. I'm just saying. But Paz just truly was dumb, and I'm sorry, just a complete fuck up. Tasha also shares with Paz during this conversation exchange that, by the way, girl, James didn't kill Angela. Angela did a lot of stuff for the family to protect us and to take care of all of us. But, Tommy killed Angela because Ghost had set him up to kill his daddy. So he figured, I'm just going to take away somebody you love. And what I found so funny about that, I was like, girl, you were standing right there with a gun pulled out in the face of the man who murdered your sister. We see that Paz runs back to Tommy's abode. The door is open, but ain't shit in there, honey. It was clean as a whistle. Wasn't a dust mite, dust bunny, nothing left in there. And now she goes like, Tommy! And I'm like, he's not gonna come, girl. This ain't Candyman. You can't call him 3 times and he appear. Okay, this ain't Candyman. I hate to tell you that, but girl, you need to go ahead and just start living your life. Take that money, get your daddy set up so he can be in one of these memory treatment centers that they have for the seniors, and go on about your business. Next week, it looks like the focus is going to be on Tommy. But Tommy gonna have to watch his back, watch his front. Not only are we asking the question of where's who shot Ghost, we also asking Somebody said Tommy had the same moving company as Silver. Yeah, the same moving company moved Terry Silver is the company that moved Tommy, honey. But I think next week the question not only becomes who shot Ghost, but who shot Benny. Okay, or where's Benny? Benny showed up with a knife to a gunfight and Tommy killed him. So I guess the Italians and the Irishmen will be looking at Tommy a little bit more closely next week. Let's see, what else did I note about this episode? That's about it. So, like I said, it was going to be brief. I need to go to bed. Actually, I need to eat something. Y'all just don't know. I got me working day and night. It is hard being a trust advisor. If you are a beneficiary, please bear with us because sometimes it can be very stressful. Everybody wants their distributions and I can't get everybody distributions. Oh, God. Either way, y'all, that's all I've got. Thank you all who did join. I'll be back here probably Saturday or maybe Friday night because we have a lot to talk about in the news. So I'll probably be back Friday night to talk about those things and also to cover Real Housewives of Atlanta. I did not talk about the episode before and then this most recent episode because the episode before it kind of was drama free, but this week I definitely want to talk about it. So it'll probably be Sunday night. But other than that, that's all I've got. I want to thank each and every one of you for joining. Shout out to my peeps and YouTube for being very interactive with me. And thank you all who did join. I hope everyone's having a great week. Other than that, that's all I got. This has been my thoughts on Power, Season 6, Episode 12. He always wins. Dead or alive, Ghost always wins, Mr. Untouchable. And as I like to sign off and say, chin up, Buttercup, the sun will come out. I promise you. But in the meantime, in between time, stay fabulous.